So this past Friday, me and my family are gone to the mall. Something that we usually do. We go out and eat, have pizza, go run through the mall before heading home. As we were leaving, I was stopped by a young man, and he was asking me about my form of dress. I always wear an alb. I tell people now I wear it to get your attention, so that you know that I'm here. So he stopped me, asked me about it. Of course, which led to asking about my beliefs, my religion, which of course led to him talking about his beliefs and his religion. Turned out he was a Christian. And before I knew it, I was surrounded by literally a dozen people, ranging in ages from teenagers to young 20-somethings of varying races, all Christians, and I was under full attack. It was quite fun, actually. It was entertaining. I've had plenty of conversations with Christians, but the way this went down to transpire was something new. It was right in the middle of the mall. Well, not in the middle, it was close to the middle, right close to the food section. Like I said, I was just about to head out. And as you know, I had this crowd surrounding me. It had drawn, you know, such attention that security had posted close by, you know, on their little Segway scooters. So, like I said, it got a lot of attention, and it was pretty heated, at least on their part. It was fun, and interesting, and of course the main part that got everything heated is when it comes to the validity of the Bible. And as I had to say to one of the people there, and it turns out it looks like that there was actually maybe a group of 3 or 4 guys that were together that I think maybe was going around, you know, proselytizing, because within that group, and I don't think it was a miracle, but a very large Bible materialized within that. So I think they was going around, you know, looking for people to talk to. So, but like I said, like I ended up saying to one of them, I don't know how to interpret our conversation. I don't know how to take the fact that Christians are not willing, well, a lot of them are not willing to admit to the flaws and contradictions within the Bible. And the standard rebuttal to that is that there are no flaws and no contradictions. It's just people misinterpreting the Bible. But I mean, that in itself leads us to the question of who is it that says we are supposed to interpret the Bible. And I asked him that. Who says we are supposed to interpret the Bible? And he says, God. I said, yeah. I said, well, show me in the Bible where God says that you were supposed to interpret the Bible. And of course, he couldn't produce that. And the funny thing about that is that he wanted me to show him in the Bible where the flaws and contradictions were. I said, well, I can't. I said, because I don't know the Bible by heart. I know they are there because I have read the Bible and I researched about the Bible. I know they're there, but at the top of my mind, I can't show you there. And I don't believe it's my job to prove that to you. The only reason I even brought up and said that there are flaws and contradictions in the Bible is because he had asked me a question. He had asked me, he said, yes or no, do you believe that the Bible is the Word of God? And being that those are my only 2 choices, yes or no, then my answer was no. And he said, why? And I said, because of flaws and contradictions. Now, what he didn't ask me, he didn't focus on truth. He didn't ask me if I believed that it could be the Word of God, in which I would have said, I believe that it possibly could be. It could be, but it could be, but still that there are flaws and contradictions, but it still could be the Word of God. But he gave me two choices, yes or no. So I had to go with the majority, which was no. So once again, he didn't ask me about truth. He didn't focus on truth. He focused on belief, which is the failings within a lot of people of faith, and specifically Christians, because they hold their faith to be truth instead of holding truth to be their faith. So that's what got things really going. Once again, so like I said, going back to, I don't know, I said to him, I don't know if you are saying that because you're just lying to me, is the reason that you don't want to admit to the flaws and contradictions, or if you're just ignorant to that. So I'm not sure how we're supposed to carry on this conversation if you're just lying to me to my face. And and I said, going back to those who said, well, it's misinterpreted. Well, what happens there is that it leaves everybody to interpret it. If you're going to say that, no, the reason that I perceive something to be a flawed contradiction is because of misinterpretation, and that I can go to somewhere else in the Bible to clear that up, well then everybody else can. And that's what is done regularly, and that's why there are over 3,000 different denominations of Christianity, because people go within the Bible and say, no, this is how this is supposed to be interpreted. This is your misunderstanding. And I told them I could have a Jehovah's Witness standing right next to me, and they would debate about how it is they're supposed to interpret the Bible. And they will be able to go within the Bible and find a passage to justify their beliefs just like he could. And so, and I told us, plenty of Christians, your problem isn't with me. It's with other Christians. You need to rectify the problem within Christianity and bring it together as one. That is a serious problem, that you have so many sects and denominations. It's a problem. And the truth to that is either the Bible is a lie, or the Bible has been written to deceive you by Satan, one or the other. And those of you within Christianity, those of you who hold yourself to be Christian, who say that you love Jesus Christ, you must fight within yourselves, within the religion of Christianity, to weed out those who are a lie, if that can be done. But I don't think it can be done, because you're going to put your beliefs first and truth last. And so you'll fight forever. And I just came across an article on the website, online today, as soon as I logged in, talking about some monks over in Jerusalem. These two rival Christian sects who are fighting over what is this? It's a Coptic and Ethiopian Christians fighting over the Deir el Sultan monastery, and they're fighting on who does it belong to, and one faction says it's falling apart, another one says it's not, but they can't get it fixed because they're arguing over who belongs, something material. These are people of God fighting over material things, and of course, that's happening in Jerusalem anyway, with the Palestinians and the Israelis fighting over, the who gets the property, who gets the land, whose God does it belong to, and I'll put a link over to the article, but I'll show you how simple-minded these people are, and what they're arguing. They are arguing, okay, it says, in another example, a ladder placed on a ledge over the entrance sometime in the 19th century has remained there ever since because of a dispute over who has the authority to take it down. You hear that? They can't even decide who gets to take a ladder off the roof. I mean, so like I said, there's a problem within Christianity. Don't come at me. I'm not out here, and another reason I don't have to memorize the Bible, because I'm not here to bash or discredit Christianity. I was asked a question. You ask my question, I will give you my opinion. And most importantly, I will give you the truth. You know, so it's not my job. Once again, if that was my thing, if I was going around trying to discredit Christianity, to take people away from Christianity, then I would memorize the Bible and I would be able to sit there and debate with you all day. But it's even still there. It will still be, I can go to a passage. And I think that's maybe something I should do. I think maybe I could argue and debate with a Christian and find a way to bring them to my way of belief about truth and use the Bible against them to show them the flaws in their brand of Christianity. But it would just be a belief, and so it would be going back and forth, and it would just turn into another sect and denomination of Christianity. You must seek the truth. You must believe the truth. You must love the truth with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And you don't do that. You love your belief. You put your belief above all else, and not the truth. So like I said, it was quite entertaining, and something new. And he even asked, you know, if I come around often. I said usually, you know, I'm there. We come there, like I said, usually at least once a week. And he challenged me to bring and show him, you know, what a contradiction is. But I told him what you can do. I said no, because if I bring it, all you're gonna do is go somewhere else in the Bible and try to validate it. So I'm interested if it may occur again. Like I said, it was a unique experience and enjoyable at the end of the day. Oh yeah, going back to my question of who says that the Bible is supposed to be interpreted. And of course his reply is, you know, it has to be because, you know, to be written into the, you know, the new languages as they come and to be passed around. And I still say, well, who says that the Bible was supposed to be written in different languages? Who said it's supposed to be interpreted? Now maybe the true thing is that the true point is that you should have learned the original languages to be able to read it in the original language to know exactly what it is. And he even brought up that, you know, the Bible was, when we got into the, you know, the Bible being written by God, I said no, the truth is the Bible was written by man. Now the question is, the people who wrote the Bible, were they inspired by God? Now that's the question of truth. They could have been, and they either were or they weren't. All right, we must ask that, and that even those who rewrote the Bible, who interpreted, who translated it different languages, they could have been flawed in what they did. And he tried to say something about, you know, that the people who interpreted and who translated it were smarter than him or smarter than me. But for one, you don't know how intelligent I am. You don't know my knowledge. You don't know who I am. Now you might want to call your own self dumb. You might want to put your own self below those. And you know, I even told one of the guys, you know, that he should go to school and learn Greek, and so that he can read the original language. You know, I wouldn't put them down as saying, no, you're dumber than those people of the past. But you know, he automatically did that. He did that to himself. And I said, and I told him, you don't know how smart they were. And even in doing their job, there are plenty of people who fail in their jobs every day. And then going back to when to the first writings, you don't know that those were the original writings. Those just might have been the first that you came across, but you don't know if those were the beginning writings. Those were the original. Those were just the first ones. You go to the Greek and the Hebrew, those are the first ones. Those are the ones that they came across that they used, but you don't know that those were the originals. The original Bible could have started out one word. It could have been one word written on one piece of paper, or papyrus or whatever. It could start off with one word, truth. And then we start playing the phone game. And then it was passed on to somebody else, and somebody added a little bit something, a little bit something, a little something. And over time, over millennium, more and more is added. And that's what we have today with this big book of contradictions and flaws. Think about it.